Hey everybody, it's time for another Redneck review with me, Robert, the Red Prince. Sorry if this video is a little dark and you can't really see my eyes, but anyway, today we're going to be going over Transformers, More Than Meets the Eye, number 23. This is part of the Dark Cybertron storyline. I didn't get a chance to read the opening issue. It's one thing I don't like about IDW's comics. They make you have to buy this one shot that explains their whole events. They're doing so with Transformers. And if you don't ask for it, they don't give it to you. But anyway, I rather liked how this thing, I got the general idea of it. And this cover, I gotta say, has two of my absolute favorite people. Optimus Prime and Rodimus Prime, or as some of you might know him as Hot Rod. Two of my absolute favorite Autobots of all time. So, anyway, we're gonna get to this story. Anyway, just to give you some background, if you haven't gone over these reviews, this is a story about, this picks up right after the More Than Meets the Eye issue I did last time, where something's going on Cybertron. Basically under the guise of the dead universe. It's a universe where everything is basically dead. It's a anti-verse for anything mechanical or Cybertronian. They're trying to cut these two Transformers, Galvatron, the infamous Galvatron, and the former Prime, known as Nova Prime, who united Cybertron under his banner many years ago, are trying to come back to take control of Cybertron again. Now, Cybertron has been in a lot of different, going on a lot of different changes. The war between the Autobots and the Decepticons is over, like I keep saying all the time when I do these reviews. But now it's under new leadership again from Bumblebee and from Silverwings, who were the two patriarchs of it. Now it's under the command of Starscream. That's right, Starscream is finally in charge. Everyone be afraid. And there's a number of people who have been exiled, like most of the Autobots, the Dinobots, all the Decepticons anyone who will not follow Starscream's idea of peace has been removed from said city. And sorry, I had to fix the light there. Anyway, and it's just a dark time to be in this. If you don't agree with Starscream's rights, he takes it away from you. Alright, well anyway, we start off in this particular issue with the Autobots in their camp starting to repel an attack by Titan, basically a giant city-sized Transformer. Maybe you remember it from Metroplex or whatnot. And Bumblebee has nothing to fight this thing with except the guns in their arms, and the Dinobots or anything that guns up everybody, he says. Prowl, get a channel open to base. RC Ironhide, take point. And you Dinobots, nobody orders Dinobots, Slag tells him, Dinobots goldenrod. Anyway, not gonna make much difference what we do, because this thing is like 50 frickin' stories tall. Alright. Well, anyway, Bumblebee tells him, no, what you do is the only things that make a difference. Take point and get your troops in a perimeter around that giant. If you he goes, if you want to be an Autobot, and if you don't want that, then get the heck off the battlefield. He actually says something else, but I'm paraphrasing in respect to our founder, Lane White. And basically when that happens, the Dinobots comply. I mean, they're springing to action, they're monitoring the Titan, and the weird thing is, it's just sitting there. This thing came back to life, started stomping around, doing all this stuff, and it's just sitting there. Everyone's like, well, he goes, yeah, if it's just sitting there, it's not that big of a deal. He goes, Bumblebee, who's been rebuilt after the events of the last arc, tells him, okay, we have to, then let's just wait and see what goes on. Anyway, back on board the Lost Light. This particular issue goes back between the two sets of Transformers. So we're going to see more than meets the eye and robots in disguise in this one. Well, anyway, here's a picture of the Lost Light. Different art style, and we see Optimus Prime has rejoined the crew of the Lost Light. He's telling them about the differences in the in what's going on. He's been on a sabbatical trying to figure out a way to help stop the dead universe and Megatron and find out these ways. Basically, he's on a soul-finding mission. He is no longer what we would call Optimus Prime. He's no longer a Prime. Basically, he's just Orion Pax. He's no longer the leader anymore. But he wants to try and stop. He's still not a coward. He's going to go and he's going to try and save and help his people, his comrades out. Well, anyway, he tells him, you know, and Hot Rod is extremely happy because his mentor in life has been Optimus Prime. He taught Rodimus everything he knows. And what we find out here, they're trying to figure out a way to get here and stop everybody. It's just a long conversation. I'm not going to take all the time to read that one. But anyway, the story shifts back to the city, the new Iacon, where Starscream is in a conversation with his chief lieutenant, Rat Trap. Okay, I know all of you Transformers fans and fans of Beast Wars like me are kind of mad that Rat Trap, one of our favorite characters from Beast Wars, is taking orders from Starscream, the biggest rat in the universe. Sorry, Rat Trap. Anyway, he's trying to tell him, you know, look, it's just standing out there. We don't need to do it, but it's still sort of a threat. And Starscream goes, he goes, are you trying to figure out a scientific solution? No, this is a weapons locker. Starscream is ready to go out there and blast the thing to pieces. And Rat Trap goes, I don't think that's a good idea, boss. Nonsense. People think of me as a schemer and an opportunist, Starscream tells him. Not that I don't appreciate that, but they forget that I was the greatest warrior in the history of the Decepticon cause. And anyway, when you get down to it, what is a Titan? Just a big bot that's in my way. That's where I think you're Rat Trap's misreading the situation. I hate to say it, but I think we ought to go see that old friend of yours. So he's basically telling him to go talk to somebody and come up with a better plan. Because that thing ain't going to go down without ridiculously large amounts of armament, waste, and everything. Alright, well, we find ourselves back on the Lost Light, where we see Optimus, Rodimus, and Ultra Magnus in a bar, drinking and eating, and they're trying to lull the situation. They know there's a big task ahead of them. And he goes, Ultra Magnus over here, sit down, I got you a weak Energon spritzer, he tells him. Oh, he goes, oh, thank you. What's the latest? Galore Prime's rate of decay is holding steady, which means that the dead universe's portal will stay open for at least another... I'm sorry, but I really don't think we should be having this conversation here. Maybe somewhere more private. Orion, he goes, it's up to Rodimus. He's basically telling him, hey, I'm no longer your leader. I know you're still going to think of me in a positive light, but I am not the leader anymore. Rodimus is your leader. Which, I like that. I like that Optimus doesn't have any pride in his heart. He's willing to give it to Rodimus, who's led the crew and done all this stuff for them. He goes, we're waiting for Brainstorm to work his magic, and I'd rather wait down here, he tells him. I'd rather be with my men and let them know that we're not hiding behind anything. And we see this moment of respect between the two of them, they're taking a moment to get used to the alcohol in their system. Things are always unraveling, Ultra Magnus says. I can't even remember when they were even fully raveled. And they're all just trying to remember the good days of when they could all be friends and sit down like this. Hey guys, and it's just one thing after another. He goes, what do you make of events on Cybertron? He says, if we were there, if we hadn't taken this trip, would we have been able to stop Starscream from taking over? He says, what would we have been able to do anyway? He says, we would have not been able to find the Knights of Cybertron. We didn't find them anyway, but our cause would have been lost. I mean, You did what you thought was right. But he goes, that's just it. He wasn't taken over, as I understand it. He's been elected. They want him as their leader. And how do you feel about that? And he's asking Optimus this, and he just takes a big old swig of his drink right here. I know you can't probably see that, but it's a great picture. He says, I hope not. And Megatron, you must have heard he came back and supposedly stopped him, but do you think he's behind this? Galora Prime disintegrating, the dead universe breaking through of Cybertron? It feels schemy. He tells him during his Optimus Prime has been exiled. He basically forcibly exiled himself. And he says, during my exile, I've had a lot to think about, but I've come to the conclusion that Autobots, Decepticons, we need to find a different way. And that's the idea from the George Washington of robots, which I generally agree with. Anyway, they've got to go and find a way into the dead universe to try and stop it from overtaking our universe. So they go to the one person on the Lost Light who's been there, Cyclonus, who was one of the chief lieutenants to Galvatron and Nova Prime. He has this time, and he's telling him, listen, you don't have to go if you don't want to, but we could really use someone who knows the way to and throw the dead universe. He goes, okay, I'll come, and you're gonna need me, and there's only 4 of us that can go in on this mission, so let's make it count. And Optimus has been traveling around with another famous Transformer, Wheelie. He tells it looks as if this is where we part company, Wheelie. Garnak, who's a alien, not a well-known part of it, but been a pleasure traveling with you, he tells him. He goes, find the enemy attack, but please promise to come back. He always talks in rhymes, and I just love that from the movie. And Ultra Magnus and Rodimus are saying their goodbyes. He goes, be honest, do you think this is about being left behind or about being left in charge? I'm not a leader, Rodimus. I haven't got whatever it is that you have, that extra something. I haven't got that. You want to know what I've got? That, a force field generator in the palm, and that in the other. Okay, so don't tell me that you can't do my job, because you can't do my job properly better than I can. So quit telling me I can do yours better. Because Optimus is here to help. He's not here to take over. And it's a wonderful conversation. And they're just trying to get through everything. Well, Starscream goes and talks to Jazz, who's watching one of the prisoners called Swerve, who was basically a big supporter of Starscream. Starscream got told by one of the Titans that he was going to be the next leader of Cybertron. He was the chosen one. And this dude basically believed in him, but yet Starscream needed a scapegoat, so he threw him in jail. It's a great line of loyalty, but he tells him, I still believe in you. Even after everything you've done to me, I still believe in you. And I'm going to try and make sure that I can help you. But listen here to the Covenant of Primus. I still believe in you, but you take advantage of every situation. You're not trying to better everything, you just take advantage. That's just who you are. Only great Cybertronians like Primus can awaken Titans like Primus and me. He tells him. There's another legend, a buried legend, a tale that dates back before Nova Prime united Cybertron. He tells him, God, I have things to do. The false prophet, the leader who will unmake everything. He shall arrive with a Titan, and adored the Titan will be in black metal, and bored ill by the time I thus wasn't listening to you. Listen, and he shall arrive and stand alone, while not alone, and time will rust, and stars shall scream. Oh, so we have this belief that the stars will scream. Stars scream, get it? The current leader of Cybertron. And he says, and the symbol of the Uncreator shall be clear. And it's this little picture right here of this eye. And what do we see on the next page? we see Shockwave, the baddest Decepticon next to Megatron ever, and his gaze shall unravel the legacy of Primus. So there's a prophecy that this could work, that they might actually win. And Shockwave has been a turncoat for as long as I can remember. He's always out for the betterment and logic of the situation. And he tells him, "This is not what I expected to see, my lord. I had thought the two of you had issues with one another." So we have Galvatron and Nova Prime who have betrayed each other and everything, but they are still in league with each other. They are still on their way to try and retake Cybertron. And they're trying to find a way for them to come to our universe now, because once you're in the dead universe, you almost can't come back unless there is some way that Optimus and them have figured out to come back. And you know, Shockwave is telling them, you know, I always have a plan, so just relax. Well, we find Optimus and Rodimus in the dead universe, where they're attacked by... They've noticed that the universe is starting to decay on itself. It's starting to end, and there's another art style in here. It's really dark, you can't see it, but if you ever get a chance, pick up one of these comics and look at it. It's absolutely gorgeous. And when they get there, they're still, even though they have these force field generators with stuff from the own universe, that basically it's like camouflage, it lets them seep in there. They're being attacked by parasites that eat metal and things like that. And they're fighting back, they're blasting all around, until finally Cyclonus comes in and manages to clear the parasites. But he's been away from the universe too long, and his physiology isn't adapting to it anymore. And they're just from there they're trying to find out where they can go to get everything settled and find a way to stop the universe. Basically, where they can plant the bomb and blow it up. Here we have back at the on Cybertron, we have them still watching the Autobots, still watching the Titan, and they're trying to figure out what to do. But in the middle of all this chaos, the Decepticons attack. And it's not clear yet whether they're attacking the Autobots or they're attacking the Titan. Alright guys, well that is it for your Transformers More Than Meets the Eye, number 23. The artists that were all on here are Athlid Rojo, James Reza, and Livid Ramadel. They, this book, you know, I usually dock off there's several different styles of art, but I've got to say, this one incorporated 3 stories. And usually I'm all for having one story, but this one was, it's all one story, but it all takes different people, I think, writing it, and they've drawn it. And I don't have one advertisement in here. I don't have anything but beautiful art all around. So as far as the art goes, it is a perfect comic. Different people conjecting into this, it is a perfect comic. The story, I'm going to give it a 5. Not a perfect 5, but still, I like it. It's incorporated so many people. The only thing that holds me back from giving it a perfect is it's a $3.99 book. It's worth about $3.99, so I'm not even going to take off points for that. But it's just a tie-in, so you don't know exactly what happened in the last issue. But all in all, I'm going to give it a perfect on the art and a 5.95 on the art. That's your Redneck review from us, guys. This is Robert Lawrence, the Red Prince, and we'll talk at you later. God bless you all. Bye-bye.